Hi, I'm Micah with Plan Your Federal Retirement. Welcome to our next video in the series about buying back your military time. In the previous video, we talked about how much does it cost to buy back, and we went through the formula on how that's going to work. But now we're going to talk about the next detailed question. After you determine roughly how much is it going to cost, how exactly do you buy that back? And for this, we have a great question that's come into our website, Plan Your Federal Retirement. Now, if you're having trouble with this, you're having any issues with this whatsoever, these are great videos to help walk you through that. But this could be time to sit down one-on-one with a benefits expert. Maybe it's someone in your HR community that knows this stuff, they can help walk you through it. Maybe it's a financial advisor that specializes in federal benefits, but sometimes you need a little bit more hand-holding to walk through that. All right, let's jump into the question. We have a question that came in from Robert. It says, hello, sir. I'm retiring from the federal government in about a month and a half. I did 10 years of honorable active duty in the Air Force, and I'm thinking about buying back my active duty time and adding it to my federal time. Is it possible to pay a one lump payment and make it all possible, seeing that my retirement is around the corner? Thank you for your knowledge. Man, Robert, that is a fantastic question. Thank you for submitting it. And thank you for your service. I really appreciate that. Not only on the uniform side, but on the federal side as well. So a couple things to think about. In the previous video, we talked about how much does it cost. Now we got to talk about the process. Keep in mind, in order to buy back your military time, you have to deal with OPM, the Office of Personnel Management. That means this is not a fast process. Robert, I wish you had a little bit more time in order to get this done. You can still get it done with a month. It may take a little bit longer to adjudicate, to finalize your pension, but you can absolutely still do it. The first thing you want to do when you've decided to buy that time back is make sure you have a copy of your DD-214. Then go fill out SF-3108. 3108, don't worry, there's a link here to that form right on our website that you can look at. And you need to submit this to your HR, which will then submit this to OPM. That's going to be the process. Until you are retired, you normally, as a federal employee, do not directly deal with OPM. Everything has to go through your personnel office. So get the form, let them know that you want to buy back that military time, fill out the SF-3108 with your information, have your DD-214 because you're going to need that as well. Then that gets shipped off to OPM. OPM is taking about 6 or 7 months right now to come back with to calculate exactly how much you owe. That's not to buy it back. That's merely for them to do the math that we talked about in the last video on how much it was going to cost you to buy back that military time. Once you get that, you then have a choice on how to make those payments. Robert, you absolutely can write a check, one lump sum, and send it off to OPM and buy everything back at once, which is fantastic. You can also do it via payroll deduction, which is another great option. Either way you go, make sure you document and keep records of all of those payments. I want to make sure you get credit for everything you paid for, and OPM has lost things from time to time. Not trying to rag on OPM, that's not where it's coming through at all. They have a lot of work, they have a lot of things kind of piling up on them, and they don't have a huge staff to make sure it's all taken care of. So the easier we can make their job, the better it is going to be for you. So you fill out that form, you ship it off to OPM. OPM takes roughly 6 months to come back with you. It says, great, it's going to be X amount of dollars. You then write a check to them for that. You then send that check off to them. Then I want you to go back in your OPF, your official personnel file, and I want to make sure that your HR person in the permanent record, you have a temporary section in your EOPF, and you have a permanent section. In the permanent section, they are documenting that you've submitted this off and that it's going, there's no way you can see it, you just got to ask your HR to do it, that you've documented that you have submitted this 3108 and you've sent a check off, and I'd love them to do a new certified summary of federal service, which shows all of your civilian time and your military time. And for military time, it'll say, great, 10 years USAF, deposit paid. Deposit paid means sweet, that should count for your military time. Now, if you're looking at your LES, your leave and earnings statement, you're going to notice your SCD, service computation date, didn't change. It's going to be the same. And the reason it's going to be the same is regardless if you bought your time back or not, as soon as you started working as a federal employee, you got credit for all of your military time for leave computation only, but not for retirement. Now your RSCD, your retirement service computation date, that's what's going to be extended. So that's going to be the process that you're going to go through one step at a time, making sure those things are done, making sure we send that off. The next question is, how much is this benefit really going to be? And how do you make sure you get all of your benefits in retirement? If you got that question, make sure you stay tuned for our next video. Till then, happy planning.